Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Hello and welcome to Creative Ghettos, the show that explores various creative industries and the Africans who push them forward. Each week, I will spend 30 minutes unveiling excellent and exciting progress within creative industries, including but not limited to visual art, architecture, design, food, film, publishing, and technology. My name is Ngwenya. Thank you for joining me right here on brandlive.co.za. Joining me on Creative Ghettos today is a makeup and beauty powerhouse, Khumo Ngwenya. Khumo is the founder and head makeup artist at House of MKA. She's here to share some stories about how she is claiming her space in an industry worth $12 billion globally, as well as the evolution of the makeup industry in Africa and the rest of the world. Khumo, welcome and thank you for joining me today.
Hello. Thank you for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. Now, the first question is makeup and beauty as pretty and glamorous as it seems on Instagram and YouTube?
It definitely is. I would recommend everyone believe the hype. It's quite dope.
Believe the hype. It seems a bit high maintenance for like the average person to maintain on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, you gotta be about it, you know. If you're not willing to be within that space, then it's difficult to really accept what makeup and that world requires of you. So if you're out there, you know, trying to look pretty, trying to look cute, you know, it's a fun world to really like explore your features, explore yourself and see what kind of products are out there for you.
I suppose, well, that's from, you know, the perspective of a regular Joe like myself. But from a work front, is it as glamorous as Instagram says it is?
Completely the opposite. Girl, I'm in sneakers. I hardly have time to put on a face.
No.
I'm out there looking crusty when I go to work sometimes. It gets really intense because that way, you know, the aim is for me to work. It's not for me to look pretty. I'm not necessarily there to flaunt my best features. I'm there to produce really good work for what I'm getting paid to do. So
clients, are they not like the clients of tattoo artists? You know, when you go to a tattoo parlor, you want to see that the guy who's going to put some marks on your body is well tattooed. Don't they feel the same about you?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Half the time your client doesn't even know who you are until you get on set. What speaks for you is your portfolio. Yeah, you get picked based on the kind of work you produce, and they pick you because you either align with the brand or you really go what you do. So all that speaks for you. When you get to set, it's really secondary to the fact no one really is here to judge you about your hair or your face or all of that. As long as you're going to uphold the standard you presented within your work that they saw, that's all they want from you. That's what they require.
Okay, so now I want to talk about your journey because you have done a lot of incredible things within your career. You are, to me anyways, you are a pretty big name in this industry. You started at AFTA Film Academy. What caused you to divert your career intentions towards makeup?
I'd always had an interest in makeup, and when I left high school, it was really tricky for me to figure out where I was going to go because I'm not a technical person. I'm not a numbers person. I'm not an inside of the box kind of person. So it was really hard for me to foresee myself spending, you know, a certain amount of time doing something I don't love, you know. So when I bumped into AFTA, actually a family friend went there and he graduated there, and I knew him from church, and I was like, hey man, that school looks like they have people like me. So when I got there, you know, the prospectus actually included the field of makeup. Well, it's called CMS at AFTA. So you basically learn the basics about doing makeup and doing prosthetics in specific, because it is a film academy. So the content that we deal with there is film and television. So I then had to go to a school called Makeup Academy after that, where I specialized then with beauty makeup, which is a little different to what film requires. So,
and you never wanted to act?
I did acting in first year. Guys.
It was not pretty.
Let's just say it doesn't look easy, you know.
Okay.
It doesn't look easy, and it's not easy. It requires a whole lot of you. which for me, I'm used to being behind my work.
Yes.
So I'm not at the forefront of anything ever. So yeah, acting, I tried it out. I respect it, but no, it's maybe in the future. I don't know, but
yeah,
in
there's a lot of loosening up that you're going to have to do for that. I completely get that. Now tell me about the process to getting to this point in your career. What was it like? What are some of the challenges that you faced?
I went through a lot, because I started out in an era where makeup wasn't necessarily the most lucrative job you could choose, fresh out of varsity. So I had to find my way around and figure out what I wanted to do. So I also didn't have the guidance of an older sister in terms of, career talk and let's figure out what you like and all of that. So I had to man it. Like I did everything, girl. I was on every set. I was doing commercials. I was doing film. I was doing music videos. I was traveling a lot, like far sooner than my parents probably expected me to gain my independence.
Internationally?
Internationally, when I was in 2013, yes. I moved to Dubai for 2 years. So yeah,
Incredible.
I've done a lot. I've been around.
And what did you do in Dubai?
I was still working as a makeup artist. I actually worked for Bobbi Brown in South Africa before I left.
Yes.
And when I went that side, I found a Bobbi Brown again, and I was like, woohoo. Yeah.
Okay, so you just moved, packed your bags, and you didn't really know what it is that you wanted to do there.
I'm a Sagittarian, so generally adventure is my thing. So when the opportunity to go abroad came up, I didn't feel any hesitation. I was like, hey, it's something new. Let me see what I can do with myself. Before then, I didn't even know there was a place called Dubai. So I literally went off on a limb, got there, 50-degree heat. No one speaks English really well. And it was like a really trippy time. But I've always known I wanted to do makeup. So everything I did that side had to align with makeup. So I didn't deviate ever from my plan.
And tell me, when you start out in the industry, what is it like getting paid? Is it good? Are you making ends meet? Are you making the week meet?
As a freelancer, it's a combination of everything. You learn over time how to make your freelance work pay out as an invoice that is a salary type of structure. But before that, it's a lot of hustling. It's a lot of trying to get by. It's a lot of, why haven't they paid me yet? I need to buy bread. It's a lot of crying, a lot of stress, a lot of, okay, let me go to work and maybe that will help me patch up everything. So it does get very stressful on the financial side of things. But when you know what you want to do already and you are the type of person who likes to be comfortable, grow in one place for a certain amount of time, then, there's production work. You go and you work at your SABCs or your Red Peppers or production companies in general. They do hire teams that are there for constant work. So regardless of what project you're working on, you are employed.
And I suppose at that time, that is a perfect opportunity to start putting together your own portfolio of things that you've done after school.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to do that because everything you do is a body of work. So
yeah. And so who would you say the biggest clients in the industry are in terms of, getting a regular income and also getting the stacked up income?
I won't lie. I'm a hustler by nature, so I like a lot of money. So the only way I can make a lot of money is to be everywhere and to be able to do as many gigs as I can do. Whereas a set income comes in at a set amount at the same time every month, which is not exciting for me. So yes, the downer is that you have to kind of struggle it out in the beginning, but the best part for me is knowing that I create the wealth I want to have. So if I've got goals and I want to buy a house or I want to buy a car or I want to travel, I want to go somewhere, that's the target I set for myself and I kill it. I go to every gig. I make sure I get booked. I do my own PR. I do my own marketing. I do a really outstanding job when I'm with my clients so that they can try and, referral, word of mouth has been like my strongest tool. So for me, income basis is based on the kind of backbone you have to make it.
Yeah, to push yourself forward.
Push yourself, yeah.
And the industries that you focus on, is there a specific industry that you focus on where you know that, okay, here I know I'm going to kill it often, or how does it work for you?
I think I've been doing this a long time now. So through the stages of my career, I've had phases where I felt like I should be everywhere for the sake of being everywhere. It wasn't about the money. And then I grew or evolved into doing productions because I felt like I enjoyed keeping up with scripts. I enjoyed continuity. I enjoyed the structure of it all. I enjoyed seeing the same people over and over again. Evolved into not wanting to see people and working on my own and just changing clients. And now I'm at a stage where I really want to focus on editorial work. I love being in the studio. I love studio work. It's just, there's something about it that just speaks to me.
Magic.
Outside of
It's
that,
magic.
it's bridals. So I love me a bride. I love making brides feel like queens and goddesses on their special day. And that's where I've really honed my skill and focused my craft onto refining it well enough to still make a bride look and feel like herself, just like 10 times better. It's like, ooh, girl, it's a glow up.
Your face beats.
Girl, you know, you got a crush on yourself when you're done.
Okay, let's talk about the people that you've worked with or the companies that you worked with.
The company that really gave me a chance was Afropulse Media, and that's when I really started out. And they're more in the sports faculty of things. That's just their basis where they started out, and they've really been killing it in that space. And moving past from that, you know, I've worked with Molosana, I've worked with Khumo Moloto. She's an exceptional. She's an editor for styling for Sowetan.
Wow.
But she's
Incredible.
actually like more than that. So that's why I struggled saying that. She's just a lot of great things, you know. I think I've been one to work with, you know, Shay Mix. He's the guy that's been working with Ambitious right now. He got me on to doing Amanda Black's I Do video with Luna Sauce.
Ways you did, I do.
Yeah.
So did you do Buntle and Pretty Ugly too?
Pretty much. So my team and I got there and we basically just did all the makeup for the shoot. It was a really fun shoot.
So your team, everyone is part of House of MKA.
Yes, well, at the time it was the two of us, myself and Utuli. So we had like to man it, and you know, it was a pretty big cast, but we did everybody.
Tell me about MKA, House of MKA. How did it start? When did it start?
I can't say when, because it's always been a baby of mine, and I've had so many ambitions for it, and it just kept evolving over the years. So I would say professionally, maybe MKA really became a brand about 4 years ago. When I started really flexing my artistic muscle. So I've got a lot more design concepts. I curate certain projects. I do my own photo shoots as well. So I've worked with really incredible photographers, Jeffrey Ricotto. I've worked with Lebo Lukewarm. I've worked with John Baloyi for Destiny magazine. We've done a little spread in there as well. So there's like a lot of really significant moments that led up to me wanting to have a professional outlook on my work. So to be able to go to corporate and say, guys, I really feel like you need to give me this portion of work. I want to make your stuff look really amazing for your calendar or for your yearbook, or your execs need a face bead for that, you know, that gala evening. You know, I wanted to have something, a body that represents me really well. And House of MKA really did that.
And how did this lead to Refresh Health and Beauty Spa?
Refresh Health and Beauty Spa really came up as we've always wanted to have one, and now we have one. I've always really seen myself being an owner or an MD for a spa facility, and it's been a dream of mine to be able to run something like that. So Refresh is currently housed under CBE, which is Couture Beauty and Events Emporium, and that is our family conglomerate. So us being able to provide more than one service was really the aim behind getting Refresh. So it was just going to be our platform to push the one-stop shop concept we're trying to move with. So I'm a makeup artist. My sister's a photographer. My mom's a fashion designer. My dad's an accountant. He's, you know.
Oh, you guys should just take over the show.
We
creative ghettos everywhere in your family.
We're going to get there.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break from now. Make sure that you keep listening, because after the break, we're going to get more insight about the makeup and beauty industry with Khumo Ngwenya.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Brand Live.
No doubt.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Welcome back. You're listening to Creative Ghettos. I'm Ngwenya. I'm still speaking to Khumo Ngwenya, the founder and head makeup artist at House of MKA. We're speaking about the makeup and beauty industry within Africa and as well as the rest of the world. But we're really just focusing on Khumo's come up at the moment. Tell us more about CBE and your family. And you know what, that got me before the break. And I'm just like, we need to know more about this creative family.
Yeah, my parents really were at the forefront of us thinking as entrepreneurs. My dad's a businessman, my mom's a businessman, and I'm a businesswoman. So having that background, we've always kind of been inclined to seeing how they work, how they operate, how they think, how they get out there and do things and get things done for us. We really got to see where our things come from.
And I suppose, did that make it easier in terms of being able to hone in your business skills and linking that with your creative side? Because I think a lot of creatives struggle with the business aspect of things.
It definitely did. It was the world of a difference for us because most people don't get that privilege of being able to be taught the business side of your craft. You jump in because you're great at what you do and you love it and you're passionate and you've got fire for it, and then down the line you realize that you need to understand how contracts work, you need to understand how finances work, you need to understand your taxes and how you need to pay that back, and how to structure your fund, your prices, how to it's a whole big chunk of its own that you need to also get into, and the balance of your artistry and the business side become one. And that's when you start functioning in a really good space within your craft. So the fact that my parents had the best of both really came in handy for us. So the birth of CBE really came at them wanting us to be part of the legacy they're trying to leave for us. So
Yes.
It's not about them just doing all the hard work on their own and then we just get to reap the rewards. We're in it. Should they have to leave it to us to handle, we should be able to run things, and that's a very big responsibility for me also because I'm the firstborn. There's like a whole 8-year gap between me and my younger sister.
8 years! Wow, yeah. So you are the most responsible one.
It's pretty much on me, So I loved that responsibility and being able to see my sister flourish in being a photographer, I mean, C4, right? So my youngest brother is like an awesome illustrator right now, and he's only in grade 9. And my sister, the one above him, is really into culinary expertise in that space. So eventually, when we're all older, we're going to run an empire that's going to serve so many people in our country.
You're like the Jacksons.
I think we need a reality show.
I think you do. And I want to be the friend that's reaping the benefits.
I'll take you with, girl, don't worry.
Will you take me with? Okay, so now you have learned all these skills from your parents and through your experience within the industry. And I know that you have a philanthropic initiative within House of MKA.
I would like to actually just put it out there that I really believe that being able to teach another person skills that you've learned is one of the most important aspects of anything that you want to try to do. If you can't give back to somebody what you really struggled to know and they've got less than you, you need to be able to help somebody, you know. And what I try to do as much as I can is to mentor young girls who enjoy, what makeup looks like to them, or enjoy the feeling they get when they have to see someone looking pretty, or they see music videos and photographs, or they just page through a magazine and they're just fascinated by products. And it's a very beautiful space, and I just want to give of my time. I give of my expertise. I take them with me on sets. I get them to see the facilities. I get them to work. You don't come with me just to be
shadow
there and look pretty. No, you get in there. You're my assistant. I teach you based on what I need you to do when you're with me. And I feel like that's invaluable. Half of the girls I know most times can't make it through school. Funds are expensive. They really need the boost. Even
Isn't
if it's
it
just
so
for
disappointing though that creative industries, they generate so much money, Yet funding to get people into schools is basically non-existent.
Yeah, we're one of those countries where things tend to come to us a lot slower than, your first world countries, for example. So America can thrive at almost anything. They could sell a bar of soap and make a channel for it and a reality show for the company who made it, and we'll all watch it,
Yeah.
But when it comes to us trying to do stuff for ourselves, it's always a limited resource situation or greed by the powers that be. So there is money put out, but it's not really getting distributed the fair way. So a lot of times in my industry, people call the makeup artist last when it comes to a project. So we always tend to get like that part that's like,
the last
we're
bit
on a budget, that's the part that they isolate for you. And you really think about, how do you make your life work when you've got people trying to not pay you what's really due to you? So now how much more is someone suffering who wants to go to school, but there's no funds for that?
Okay, so now I want to speak about cashing in on this lucrative industry. As I said before, in Africa alone, the beauty industry is worth about 12 billion US dollars as of last year, which is about 150 billion rand. How do you think more Africans can capitalize on this existing market?
I think the biggest part of that is doing your research. You have to research. You have to figure out a lot of things. You have to look at the money value. You have to look at the return on investment. You have to look at getting your capital right. You have to look at so many different aspects. There's a lot of moving parts to trying to create a brand that's going to be available in retail spaces, because that's also a very sensitive area to play in, because it's your success is based on the retail market. So if your consumer is not buying from you, you've invested so much, and it's going to go all down the drain really quickly. Before you even know it, it would be like you never existed. So the thing is to always research and timing. You can't rush it. You can't want to be famous now. You can't want to launch a lipstick now. You need to figure out a lot of aspects to your brand. What's going to make you stand out? What's going to make you relevant 10 years from now? All these brands that exist right now, your Estee Lauders, your Bobbi Browns, Rihanna, they're all going to make it because they've understood over a long period of time what they need to do and how they're going to sustain that business. So it's not just a trend, it's a sustainability for it. So Rihanna can do what she's doing, and it's great that she's doing what she's doing, but she's capitalizing on a market that's been forgotten. We're hard to cater to, apparently. We are difficult
neglected.
We are
in fact,
neglected.
not even forgotten, neglected.
And there's so many different varieties of skin tones within, people of color, and Rihanna capitalized on that. That's why she is successful.
But why don't you think that Africans were able to be the ones who started such product lines where they cater to the very dark-skinned, to the very fair-skinned?
Firstly, we don't have many brands in South Africa alone that cater to black people. That's still something that's untapped. And to get to that, it's almost like a closed industry. Like you have to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And then they can pass on your proposal. And there's a lot of channels you go through to get to that stage. You have to partner up with people who understand the pharmaceutical side of things, because your product can't be bought at China and then brought here and then slap a sticker on it and then all of a sudden, bam, we've got a product. If you're going to want to do something, it has to be literally homegrown. You have to try and manifest it within the country. But the funds for that are severely limited, because when you're looking at the government and certain organizations that do provide funding, it's almost impossible to get certain things done to be approved, because the structure of what you need or the requirements are not available online most times.
Yes, true.
So you'll go to that particular affairs office and you'll spend the whole day in a queue and then find out it's the wrong queue. And then go another day and you'll find out that you're missing certain documents, and then you're sent back. And then you'll go another day. That stuff, or that process, gets very tedious and very frustrating. And I can imagine, the ordinary South African who's just trying to make it out there to do something of their own is feeling very underrated, underestimated, or
But I think it is starting to happen now. I mean, we're seeing some people are coming out with their own nail polish ranges. or skincare products. It's happening slowly. Yeah,
but also not at the expense of the people who should be giving us the money. A lot of people have to save up for a long time to get capital of their own. Most brands want you to have something to offer before they can join you or before they can give you the platform to flourish with.
And how do you put that together?
Like I said, when you're researching, you get to learn a whole lot of things, and networking is like a really big part of that, because you could have your best luck basically meeting someone who can link you up with the correct resources or link you up with the correct assistance in terms of getting legal documents prepared, registration processes, things like that really do help. So within my own capacity, I try really hard to stay humble and not get ahead of myself. It's a really big project to focus on. The minute you start deciding you want to release a line, you need to understand that you're putting everything you've got, every penny, every ounce of sweat, you are putting it into that. And that's what's going to sustain your longevity of what you're doing.
Khumo, we've run out of time
already.
I know. I wish we had an hour. But thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insight.
It's been awesome.
Can you tell us where we can get a hold of you, where we can find you on Instagram and maybe your website?
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm Moetike Artistry Beauty. That's MKA South Africa Beauty. So whenever you go online, that's the general name.
Okay.
On Facebook, I'm Khumo Ngwenya, and Twitter is at Khumo.
Okay, Khumo. Thank you so much for joining me again. To find out more about what's happening within Africa's creative industries, make sure to follow Creative Ghettos on Instagram and Twitter at Creative Ghettos. My name is Ngwenya. Join me again next week, Friday, from 2 to 2:30 p.m. for another impactful show. Bye for now.
Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.